This is Don't Panic, episode number 242, recorded May 13th, 2019, added to the queue. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, you. I am Sean Jennings, joined by two guys who are out of the country so often, I think they're on some kind of watch list. It's Colby Rabideau and Dan Miller. Gentlemen, this time I mean it with gusto. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
When was the last time we did this?
It's literally been, I think, like 3 or 4. It's been like a month.
That's crazy.
It's been a while.
It's too long.
People were out of the country. People were sick. It's just, this time of year, it always happens with us, where we just get slammed. I don't know what it is.
Right. We got to start all the things that happen all at the same time at the end of April. We got to start spreading them out.
Yeah. I think we should just bank some fake stories.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sean's thinking where I'm thinking. We just pre-record some shows that we got in the can, some evergreen content.
I mean, a lot of it's pretty predictable, too, because then we could just be like, oh my God, can you believe the new iPhones? Like, they added another camera. Like, some of this is really... Can you believe the pixel ratio on that display?
It's just going to be a grid of cameras like the Jumbotron at the football stadium.
Well, didn't they do? They did a 6-lens phone. I think like Nokia or someone weird did it, and it looked insane.
It sounds insane.
I mean, I don't know how much better you can get by adding more cameras, but they'll try. They will try.
They will try.
I believe it. Also, I just went on Facebook for the first time in, I don't know, weeks, and I realized I didn't look at Facebook on my birthday. I forgot. So there were a bunch of posts I didn't
Oh no.
Cinco de Colby came and went.
Boy, did it.
Did you do anything exciting for your birthday?
We went bowling. We got tacos and then went bowling.
Lovely.
Candlepin bowling.
Ooh, I haven't done. When was the last time I did candlepin bowling?
Is there candlepin bowling near you, Sean? Does it extend out that far?
I don't know of any in specifically where I live now, but when I was a kid, there were a couple candlepin places not far from where I lived. I believe they're still there. It's still a thing.
Yeah. For a long time, it was the only kind of bowling I had ever done. Like, I was aware of regular bowling from TV.
I don't think I did regular bowling until I was like maybe 17. I mean, like, my whole childhood, I'd always done candlepin. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was either I did regular bowling the first time either in college or, like, at home, but, like one of the summers of college or something like that.
Now, today, which do you prefer?
Honestly, I've most recently candlepin bowled, and then before that, I probably haven't bowled in 3 to 4 years. So it's hard to say. I feel like I enjoy candlepin bowling. It's kind of, so the place near where I live is there's no scorekeeping machine, so you have to keep score yourself.
Ooh, fun. Old school.
Yeah, which on the one hand is terrible. But also it's kind of fun. I don't know. They also have pretty good pizza.
Yeah, that's nice. They're like, I can think of like 2 or 3 in the greater area where I live of like the new chains of like upscale bowling that they're trying. Like, I know there's Round One and Spare Time, and there's a couple chains that are trying to go nationwide. And they've opened a couple near me. I haven't been, but they're supposed to be a little more upscale.
Dope. It's like the Kabuki Theater of bowling. Is Kabuki Theater the thing I'm thinking of, where you, like, get a meal at your seat?
No, maybe.
It's a different thing. What's the thing called?
What?
What's the movie theaters where you get a seat and then there's, like, a rest, like,
it's like a dine-in. It's a dine-in theater, is what I would call it.
That's
I don't
all
know if
it's
it has
called.
Another name.
I thought I had a name. Never mind.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, similar.
Michael Kurtz on Facebook says, "Have we tried hatchet throwing? It's the new bowling." I haven't tried hatchet throwing.
But we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think we're like scared of it or something, considering how much we've talked about it and haven't done it.
I've done it.
Oh, you've done it.
I've done it. Come on.
You've
You
done
know
it all,
me.
Dan. Come on, let's be real.
Not everything. I've done a fair bit.
You've done your fair share.
I have done my
You
fair
were in
share.
Sweden during the break.
I was in Sweden during the break.
How was that?
That's right. I haven't told you this whole story. I got
I
stranded.
knew whenever you travel, Dan, there's always a story.
Yeah, I got stranded at a train station in the middle of nowhere that luckily had one pizza restaurant in the entire town. So that was cool.
Better
But
or worse than New York pizza? You can be honest.
I didn't go so far as to find out. I had a pretty bitchin' meal, and yeah, I got to set a new swarm record for checking into an airport for 4 days in a row because we were only there for 4 days, and we were at airports every day of those 4 days. So yeah, it was a good time. It actually was a really good time. And the restaurant that we're going to announced that they were closing for good the week after we got back. So we were there just in time.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, well, we're glad to have you back.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back. But I have bad news. I will be in Barcelona next week.
Oh my God. Get a load of these guys.
Now, I think what we need to do is just do the show in GMT +1 or whatever, and Sean can just dial in at.
Well, yeah, Sean, you just take a late lunch.
Just right after.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something even worse, which is I'm going to invite Matt, and we are going to do the show without you.
Yes.
Which would be either the funniest thing in the world or an utter disaster.
I think it's going to be really funny.
I think that would be a hoot. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone out there is listening and you want to be a host on the show next week, send us an email, don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. Maybe we have our few regulars who I think would be great. But it's going to be lonely.
Just Sean up here alone.
You're just like crying for an hour. I missed them so much.
That would be a little weird.
Yeah, not the weirdest thing I've ever done, but definitely up there.
In competition.
Speaking of weird things I've done, I'm videotaping myself sleeping now.
Ooh.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, tell us more. How?
So lately I have not been sleeping great in general, and I've always, my whole life, obviously you can't see yourself sleeping, but you can tell by my blankets and my general exhaustion wake up, I move a lot in my sleep. I knew that. And because I sleep alone and have always slept alone, ladies, I don't really know how I sleep. And so I've picked them on the show before. Michael Kurtz in the Facebook chat says, same, I'm also videotaping you sleeping. He's on fire today. He's on fire. Come back next week and co-host.
Oh my God, yes.
I think I would just be super on board. And so I have these little $20 Waze cams, which I've talked about on the show before, and I had them out because I had them monitoring the dog when I was babysitting, so I haven't hung them back up. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll put one in my bedroom. It's got night vision. I'll put on a time lapse, and I'll watch myself. I'll play it back the next day and see what's really going on. Guys, yeah. I am an aggressive sleeper.
Wow.
I get my exercise at night. I'm going to send you to a still in the Slack chat that I asked that you not send around, but it's very fun. I mean, like, I'm wearing clothes and stuff. It's not that bad, but it shows me at an angle. I'm literally sideways on the bed, and it's extremely funny. Yeah, I'm up, I'm down, I'm flipping, I'm flopping, I'm moving all over the place like a lunatic. Have you guys ever? I can't believe I'm about to ask this. Have you guys ever thought about videotaping yourself sleeping? This is where the show's gone. We've done 242 of these.
Oh my God, Sean, you really... First of all, I like the look of your screen. And second, you really are... Is that... Hang on. Where are your legs in this picture? Well, there's one leg I can clearly see is at like a 45-degree angle coming up from the bottom of the bed. Is the other leg off the side of the bed?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That doesn't
and my
look
head's hanging
comfortable.
off the bed. It's not. I wake up sore, Dan.
You didn't take a pillow with you.
No, I don't. Literally, my head's on the pillow maybe 60% of the night at most. Like, I wake up sore. It's crazy. Maybe I'll send you guys the whole thing.
Maybe you need to go to the gym. So, okay, here's my next question. Have you ever tried any of the sleeping apps for the watches or anything like that?
So I do. I track my sleep. I don't use any apps to help my sleep.
Okay.
Like, they just tell me I don't sleep. Great.
And remind me, which sleep tracking app do you use?
I believe it's the same one. I think that was it Sleep Aware? Auto Sleep. That's what I use. Auto Sleep.
So what
like
are your auto sleep stats like for these things?
Well, what's crazy is they actually are much more generous than reality, because when you look at, they have like a sleep rating that they give you, and the majority of nights I'm like 80+%, which I would say is generous.
That's crazy.
Well, but how long? So your sleep efficiency is at 80%. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they have a metric they call sleep rating. Your sleep rating. It's out of 100. But like the quality sleep isn't high.
Right. And how long are you sleeping for?
Like at worst 6 hours a night, but usually it's a little closer to 7.
Okay, so it's not even that long, yeah.
No, it's all light sleep. I can never get into deep sleep, and so it's a lot of sleep, but a crappy quality.
I'm so impressed that you did this on your own. I thought this was like a doctor ordered thing.
No, well, you know me, I'm a logical guy, so I'm like, oh, if I'm not sleeping, I should do the research and find out why.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. So what are your next steps?
Sean, maybe you need to start exercising during the day so you tire yourself out and you don't have to do the sleep exercising that you've been doing.
Maybe I should be more specific. I know what I should be doing. You're 1,000,000% correct. I don't disagree with you at all.
I see where Sean's coming from. It's a lot more fun to take a video of yourself sleeping than it is to go to the gym.
Like, oh, look at me go! Look at me go! It's like I said, I've done it my entire life, so it's not like a new phenomenon necessarily. I just thought I'd eventually get around to looking into it. But no, I'm sure there's all kinds of things. I tried Ambien a while back because my doctor prescribed it, but that shit is crazy if you've never been on it.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation about that this weekend.
Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't drive my car while sleeping, but it also made me tired all the time, so I stopped that. So it's not the end of the world, but a fun little. If you have a little camera sticking around and you're bored and wanna not have a life, I highly recommend you videotape yourself sleeping at night. It's very fun.
I'm curious. I don't feel like I have any problem sleeping though. I would be curious. I would love to know. I'm kind of nervous about videotaping myself sleeping, and I'm also too lazy to watch it. Right. What I want to know is, I want some motion statistics.
Sure.
Like, how many times do I turn over? I suspect that it happens, but I have no idea how often it happens. Maybe this is our next $1 million idea.
Well, I was going to say, in all the different ways sleep tracking by the watch or by the mattress or by... no one has ever thought of doing, an AI-enabled camera. I guess it would just have to be a really good... The issue is you would see general movement, but I don't know if you could get it... could you see the sleep, the breathing through the blankets? I don't know if you could get really detailed enough.
Maybe you want to know, camera combo.
Well, that's what it is. You'd have to combine them. But yeah, I think that'd be a great add-on for, I know, what's the company Apple bought that does the sensor you put under your mattress that tracks your movements?
I don't know what it's called, but that's what I was thinking about, yeah.
But partnering that with a camera would be really neat. But then again, how many people... Yeah.
Apple can make a smart mattress and then call it the iPad.
You just blew all of our minds. I think the ultimate question is how many people are comfortable with a large tech company watching them sleep every night and mining it for analytics. Now, we are, but...
God, what would the analytics be? What would they use that information for?
Well, like maybe like speed and miles per hour, like how fast you're going at night.
It's really hard to sell someone ads when they're sleeping. I mean,
It's true, but maybe they can infer things you might want to buy based on how well you do or do not sleep.
certainly when you go to sleep, I can see that being useful.
Yeah, but like I'm sure I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure there's different sleep remedies depending on what your problem is. Like I probably just need straps to strap me down to the mattress so I don't move.
Ooh, a hospital bed.
Basically, restraints.
Oh, and then you can get one of those ones that lets you like lift up the different parts of it. You know, what are those called?
The adjustable beds, which are very popular now, actually, for like regular people to have in their homes.
That's cool. You could get like a weighted blanket. It's kind of like straps.
I've thought about it, but I'm so worried now that there's so many knockoffs. I'm so worried about getting a crappy one. Scares. It's one of those like Amazon things where there are like 1,000 listed there, and I don't know which are good. I'm just waiting for the wire cutter to eventually pick one, and then I'll buy it.
You could get a cat that just sits on you.
I am thinking about that. Talk to me this fall.
Ooh. Cat party.
Oh boy.
Oh hell yeah.
Cat, you know what cats love? A lot of humans coming over into their space.
Yep.
They can't get enough of that.
Well, thankfully my house is boring as shit, so they'll love it nonetheless.
So are you interested in tracking your sleep more? Are you going to get more? Are you going to get one of those mattress pads?
No.
One of the brain things? No?
No.
I'm interested in tracking your sleep more, Sean. Maybe I should talk to Mike Kurtz.
Oh, but they only... So, Colby, you just posted this weighted blankets article from the wire cutter, and of course I did that thing where I just scrolled down to see what the price was, but that seems expensive.
$200 does seem like a lot.
But then again, can you really put a price
on sleep?
On sleep.
Yeah,
and sleep is happiness.
That's what they say. I've never recorded myself sleeping on video. However, the sleep app I use does have a audio recording feature that you can use. And I did try that for a while, but like the result was exactly what I was. This was at my old apartment where there was loud traffic, and like it would do a thing where it would only keep the audio when something like happened. So it was like a loud noise, and the only loud noises were like giant trucks like crashing by.
Yep.
Which is all things I knew about because I usually like woke up when that happened. But
yeah, those things are not made for people who live in cities. Well, Sean, I would encourage you to try out more apps and hardware. Get a weighted blanket, because I want to know. I'm hooked.
Well,
I want to know what happens next.
Comment superstar Michael Kurtz points out he kept a dream journal, thinking about all the times he woke up in the middle of the night and didn't remember, and that has actually happened to me. Where not that I like get up and make a sandwich, but I will wake up during the night and not remember having done so.
How do you know?
Because it'll be like, like my phone is not on the charger anymore. It's on the table.
Oh.
Like not in a way you would naturally knock it over, but in a way like you picked it up and put it back down and little things like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to try some of these things and report back.
Yeah, let's all take some homework and help me be not so tired all the time. That would be super.
Cool.
I'd recommend it. Alrighty. Well, any other catch-up banter from the crew here?
Well, I mean, I don't know about ketchup, but I prefer mustard.
Whoa! Hey now. Hey, have you guys tried? They got Heinz is doing all these new combo ketchups. Have you seen this?
No.
Combo ketchups.
Yeah, so they're I don't it's a little bit gimmicky. It reminds me of the colored ketchups from back in the day, but they have mayo chup, which is mayo and ketchup in the same bottle. They have Cranch, which is ketchup and ranch in the same bottle.
Cranch.
There's
I honestly, when you said cranch, I was like, cranberries? Cranberry ranch? What does that have to do with ketchup?
That actually could be good. I'm not going to knock that.
For sure. Honestly, mayo and ketchup, like, that's a thing. I put mayo and ketchup on a burger before. Why not cut out the middleman?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, they've got mayo mustard, which is mayo and mustard. What else? Mayo Q, which is mayo and barbecue sauce. I don't know if any of these sound appealing.
Oh, boy. So many options.
I'll take it as... You know what? I'll get some and mail it to you guys, and we can do a taste test on the show. How's that?
Friend of the show, Katie Adams, says, I come to this podcast for Heinz and condiment news. Thank you for the update. You're welcome, Katie.
It's a hard-hitting news.
Yeah. This is important. Oh, Michael Kurtz says, isn't mayo and ketchup what Thousand Island dressing is? I think that's true. But I feel like there's something else in it.
Yeah, but that's basically what, like, that's what you put on like a good cheeseburger. It's got ketchup and mayo. That's what I'd get it for, as a burger.
What's the Big Mac sauce? Which one is Russian? So isn't one has is mayo, relish, and ketchup? Like relish is the mayo mayo, ketchup, and relish. Right. I
have to Google it because I don't know the answer. Because you're right. I think so Big Mac is similar to Thousand Island. Says this article, including a recipe on how to make your own Big Mac sauce, which calls for mayonnaise, mustard, a little bit of relish, sugar, white wine vinegar, and some spices. That sounds good.
Sounds good. I love sauces.
Do you ever make your own sauces?
Sometimes.
Colby's signature sauce?
Daddy's sauce.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like my favorite sauce is blue cheese dressing, and that's like the only reason. I don't actually like buffalo wings. No one likes the flavor of buffalo, but I like to have something to put blue cheese dressing.
Whoa, putting the city of Buffalo on
hot takes.
Blast.
I didn't say anyone doesn't like the city of Buffalo.
Even though that's true.
I mean, but Colby, what reason would they have to like it if not for the Buffalo wings?
I don't know. They have a football team, right?
Do they?
It was authentic New Yorker, Dan Miller. That time we remember New York City is not New York State.
The Buffalo Bills, Dan. They're not very good.
I know. I was hoping that they weren't good, and that was going to be a joke that I could make.
Can you name the other Buffalo major sports franchise?
Oh.
See, now we're really... I think this is on the DMV
the
exam.
Buffalo Flyers.
No, that's the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
It is a hockey team.
No, there's no chance.
That would be your Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah, no chance.
I don't even know if Buffalo knows the Sabres exist. I don't think they've ever been good. And the same guy owns both teams, the football team and the hockey team.
Who is it?
Terry
Did he get
Pegula.
arrested? Did he get arrested for visiting those massage parlors in Florida, too?
I'm told he's a very upstanding citizen, unlike Robert Kraft. Slimeball. Okay.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. Is he from the Kraft macaroni and cheese dynasty?
Completely unrelated.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
I guess it's good for Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I think they'd want to disassociate themselves as a brand. That's what I would suggest. We have nothing to do with the guy caught on tape paying for sexual activities. We just make the macaroni.
Just the macaroni.
Anyhow.
Anyways, is there any tech news or something like that?
There is some tech news, Dan. I'm very glad you asked. We've got a whole chat room here, a whole spreadsheet here full of stories while you guys look at what ones we're going to talk about. I want to thank everybody. We've been talking about our commenters all night. The comments are on fire. Join us Monday nights whenever we're in town. Join us about 10:15 Eastern at facebook.com/don'tpanicshow or on Twitch at twitch.tv/don'tpanicshow. You can comment. We will read it on the air potentially, and we would love for you to do that. Guys, what's story number 1 this week?
I think we should talk about Nest. You have a Nest thermostat, Sean.
I have a Nest thermostat, and I have a Nest outdoor cam as well, which I love. It's great. Well, at Google I/O this week, Google announced a bunch of stuff, but one of the things they announced I thought was interesting enough to pull out separately from the rest of the I/O stuff is that they're discontinuing their Works with Nest program, essentially the system that allowed a ton of devices to integrate with Nest. It's phasing it out throughout the summer. I believe August 31st is when it will officially be shut down. The issue is it breaks basically every non-Google owned integration of Nest, including IFT, including SmartThings, including Philips Hue, including Lutron, all the other smart home things that used data coming from Nest has officially been killed. Now, Google is saying this has to do with privacy. They were concerned about who was getting the data from what. It will work. The Nest part is now becoming integrated with the Works with Google Assistant program. So if you're associated with that, you'll theoretically be able to get to the Nest through Works with Google Assistant. However, access to that is more heavily vetted than what Works with Nest was, which was much more open. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you using any of these bits of software?
Yeah, I use the if triggers. I think that's about it. There's really I never it's one of those like smart home thing where it's like change the color of your hue lights when your heat turns on, and it's like why would I want
right.
It's like one of those types of thing. Like, oh, my TV remote can turn up the heat, and I'm like, I guess that's interesting. A big one it breaks is Alexa. Which is one I do use a lot. Now, Google says they're going to actually do something special for the Amazon system to kind of actually get it working sooner than this Works with Google Assistant thing, just because it's so popular. But that is a big one as well, and I do use that a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom uses, or I had set up the automatic, the car thing that plugs into your car integration, where it can use that to know if you're close to your house.
Yep.
But I guess it could just use your phone to know if you're close to your house.
Does, yeah.
So I don't know why that's necessary.
Yeah, as long as you have the app installed on your phone. That's the idea.
Yeah.
This whole move comes as Google is officially folding Nest into the Google family, is now known as Google Nest, which is confusing. They've also made a few other privacy changes, including the Nest security cam. Previously, it had a green light that indicate when video was recording. You could disable it, but now it has to be on to prove to whoever's there that it's actually recording. So, a push on privacy to be sure.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, a bummer if you've got a lot of Nest products you were using with a lot of other products. Unfortunately, you're out of luck.
Alas. Google Lens update.
What is Google Lens?
I think that's the thing that translates stuff through your camera.
Oh, it's not Google Glasses?
Nah.
No, well, Google Lens is, I think, built into Android. I don't think you have to download it separately. It is getting some updates, including being able to contextualize a restaurant menu or information on a piece of paper. It can search for exact dishes on a menu and surface photos of that dish based on Google Maps information to show how it looks before you order. You can also point the camera at your receipt to bring up a tip calculator or to split the bill. And you can even use sign language in a foreign language to hear the text-to-speech translation, among other things.
I heard a funny tweet today.
You heard a funny tweet?
Or I read a funny tweet today?
I just like that people are telling you tweets. Dan, I gotta tell you about this great tweet.
It was back when Google Glass was a thing in San Francisco. I like to go into bars, sit next to someone with Google Glass on and say, "Hey Google, call mom," and then walk up and leave.
You're too nice of a guy to do that, Dan. I don't think anyone's buying it.
Well, it would be a good thing to do on Mother's Day, I think.
Well, let's just say yeah.
It would be the nice thing to do for the moms.
I agree.
It's for the moms.
For the moms. I will say I had a certain group of people come to my house for New Year's, and a certain group of them decided to shout a bunch of stuff at my Alexa, which was very annoying. And I'm still trying to figure out what exactly they did. So those are getting muted next time I have guests.
Don't you have a voice log?
I should go back and listen to it. I actually didn't think of that. I forget it records everything you say.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
No, it was mostly just people trying to mess with my recommendations, which thankfully didn't work.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Google, play Megadeth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I got a lot of that. Oh, set an alarm for July 18th, and I'm like, dude, don't be dicks. Come on. Don't have any patience for that. Oh, well.
All right, what else did Google announce?
Oh, boy, you want to go through the high-level list, and you can stop me.
Let's hit the highlights.
All right, here's your highlight reel. The Google Pixel 3a and 3a XL go on sale. That's the newest version of those phones, starting at $399. They came with advanced camera features, including night sight, super res zoom, and portrait mode on the rear and front-facing cameras. Now, these are the lower-priced version of the Pixel, so what you're losing out on is waterproofing and wireless charging. But like I said, you start at that $399 price, which is pretty good for a phone, available in 3 colors and offered on all major carriers except AT&T and available in 13 countries. We also saw the release of the Nest Hub Max. I think this is the first Google new Nest product in quite a while under that new Google Nest umbrella. It is the $229 Google Hub Max. They kind of smashed together a Nest camera, Google Home Hub, and the Google Home Max. It's got a big display, a security camera built in, loudspeakers in the single gadget. The camera can perform facial recognition to bring up personalized results between members of your family. It will arrive later this summer with a 10-inch screen. A nice-looking device if you're into that sort of thing. We saw Android.
Do either of you have the Amazon show?
No, again, one of those things is like, I want one and I just cannot justify buying one. No.
Okay. All right. Carry on.
Android Q Beta 3. We learned some additional new features. This is the third beta, and they added some stuff to it. Dark theme standard. Dark theme is available for every standard Android app, but now you can turn it on, turn it off, and play with the colors there. To help reduce battery usage. They also updated their digital well-being by adding focus mode. It lets you select particular apps you want to avoid using during a period of time and disable only those. Smart Reply will also begin being offered in third-party messaging apps, including suggested actions such as opening Google Maps when it sees a message about commutes or addresses. It's also bringing live caption to all videos. When you watch a video, whether it's on your camera roll, on an app or the web, or even in video chats, they will add subtitles to what is being said in real time. They say it's built for people who are deaf of hard of hearing, but you can also use it if you're not. Live caption is also being added to phone calls, adding a live transcription of the current conversation during the phone call. And lastly on Q, Google will be releasing software updates directly through the Play Store instead of waiting on phone manufacturers or carriers. It's called Project Mainline. It's offering the system of updates in modules that tackle specific parts rather than a giant update sent through your carrier. It also means that if there's a bug in an update, it'll only affect part of the OS, not the entire thing.
That's very exciting. This is one of my big complaints going with Android going back to 2010. So,
well,
do they have a timeline for like how this is going to get rolled out and yeah, like do the manufacturers have to do this?
That's a question. that I do not have the answer to directly in front of me, unfortunately.
All right. That's fair.
I'm going to see if I can find it quickly, but I did see an article today that I think it was what was the version before Q?
I remember Android Eclair.
Well, it's P because they're the letters. I don't remember what it stood for though. But apparently, only 10% of devices are running P. So clearly, they have not solved that problem of getting everyone updated. And Android Q, they basically have said is coming to Pixel first, and then other phones when they get to it. Unfortunately, I mean, I think if you want the best Android experience, you should probably get the pick. I mean, at this point, to be completely honest, why would you get a phone that wasn't the Pixel? Because the Pixel, as far as I understand, has the best camera on basically any phone, more or less, or at least pretty damn close. And it runs the best version of Android. So if you're getting an Android phone, I don't...
Because you don't know about it, for one thing.
That's a million% fair.
But the other... Are there other, like, Samsung ecosystem advantages? Like, can you use those Samsung watches? I don't know if anyone uses the watches.
Are you a big fan of Bixby?
Bixby?
Their smart
What's that?
That's their smart assistant.
Is that like a Super Mario character?
Bixby. Well, that was Bill Bixby was the character on the Incredible Hulk TV show. It wasn't Bruce Banner. It was Bill Bixby. No, well, I did see an article the other day that, and we might have talked about it very briefly on the show, that Samsung was going to do a smart speaker, like the HomePod, with Bixby on it, and that has now been delayed into TBD territory. And who knows if it'll ever get released. So Samsung likes to pitch their ecosystem. I guess your Galaxy works better with your Samsung TV and like your Samsung washing machine, but theoretically, now that Google Assistant is integrated into so much stuff, which they've been pushing really hard the last few years, I feel like you kind of get that advantage with Android more so than you do having a Samsung device. But I could be wrong. I would love to hear from, oh, here we go, Michael Kurtz. God, I'm going to send you a trophy. Whew. Pixel 3 memory sucks. Constantly closing my Pokemon Go. If I decide to open a text message or check Facebook, disconnects my step counting, etc. Okay, fair point. See, this is why one of us needs to get an Android.
Is that a Pixel 3 problem or an Android problem?
That's a good question. I also don't know. I really want to like Android. That's the problem. Because I see them announce this stuff, and I'm like, that sounds really cool. And I'm like, but my iPhone works. I think about it sometimes. Think of a technology device in your life that works as well or consistently as your iPhone. My iPhone never crashes. It never randomly shuts down. Apps almost never crash. I'm not saying never, but almost never crash. It's shocking to me how consistent it works.
Yeah. Even my TV is less reliable than my phone in a lot of ways.
Yep.
My laptop and my iMac are also less reliable.
That is absolutely true.
I don't know. My piano, like when I turn my digital piano on, it works every time. When I press a button, it always plays. It always plays the note.
Mm-mm.
I would hope.
Let's see. My Kindle always works.
Yeah, so it works like a simple gadget. Even though it's far from it.
Yeah.
It's just Mike does say in the chat that the Pixel 3 has only 4 gigabytes of memory, which is pretty darn low.
Indeed.
And Katie says, look at you with your fancy recent iPhone that doesn't have apps that crash. Katie, gotta get in the upgrade program. Get those new phones. It's
the
worth
iPhone 10 has 3 gigabytes of RAM. That's the one I have.
Is that true? That seems...
Yeah.
Oh boy, Android.
I know. It's Java. Fucking Java. Oh my god.
The garbage collector. Ah.
Wouldn't need a garbage collector if you didn't have so much garbage to collect.
I won't point out that we just called it garbage, but anyway. we gotta keep some friends online. Guys, we're just burning through time here. If there's another story you want to get to, speak up now.
I want to hear about buying a house over the internet, and then next time we should talk about the new Apple TV app because I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet.
That's totally fair. Yeah, so this isn't necessarily a new story, but it's one we haven't talked about, and they've actually been trying for a few years on this. The latest update on it was Redfin, which is a sort of real estate website, is putting out a new feature that lets home buyers without an agent make offers on homes directly through the website. They kicked it off in Boston, actually, about 6 weeks ago. The program allows buyers to begin the process of buying a home directly through the website, and they go through a 55-question form to build a competitive offer. It's essentially a buy it button, and once you fill that out, you can put in a legitimate offer. For homes listing in Boston, instead of paying a commission to your buying agent, which is usually 2 to 2.5%, the seller pays a 1% fee to Redfin on the website of the 122 Boston listings that have accepted an offer since, or of the 122 Boston listings, since 5 were from Redfin. Redfin said 77% of the offers were within 5% of the asking price and 30% were cash offers. Yeah, it's just an interesting idea. Essentially, you're just cutting out the agent and just buying it directly from the person, and they just take a smaller cut.
So my fear with this, I don't know if fear is the right word, and Colby, maybe you can, or actually both of you can correct me on this. If I was a developer working on this website, I would be worried that there would just be sort of like house buying sharks that now would just go around and bid and buy houses that they never are going to live in just to like resell later.
Well, like there already are house buying sharks that do that.
Right, but I assume that in the case where you have to meet up with a person, that there's some like additional oversight that happens such that that you have more assurance that they're a legitimate home retail buyer.
Well, Dan, then let me double down on that and tell you about an additional thing. Redfin is testing it. I think Zillow is a couple companies are testing where the websites are actually going to buy the homes themselves.
Okay.
Hire crews of local contractors to improve the house and sell them directly via the website for a small profit at the company, meaning a website could potentially own thousands of homes at the same time.
Nice. That's commercial real estate, though.
But we're talking theoretically. I mean, we're a long ways from it, but we're talking thousands or tens of thousands of homes, which is a scale we haven't seen before, even from talking about individual residential homes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some economists out there who are concerned that could actually destabilize the housing market for one individual to own so many homes.
Why is that?
Because first of all, you're sucking out because the website company is going to, there are no mortgages on the house. They just own them.
Right.
And so you're sucking the wind out of the mortgage market, but also if the housing market were to turn because they're talking about theoretically owning 1 to 2% of all homes in the U.S., they have so much leeway to suddenly jack up or lower the prices. It's just something that's never happened before, so they don't know how it will affect the market. And Michael, who is our gold medal superstar, said they're going to need a lot of property insurance for those homes too. If a hurricane hits, they're screwed. So it's an incredibly complicated concept.
We should get into the property insurance business.
Tell me about it. Holy
smokes. The internet
smokes.
property insurance business.
Hey, there people are making money out of it. I will never forget one of the funniest things. Back when I was a teenager, I also didn't sleep well at night. So I would be up flipping through the satellite with a zillion channels, and there was a channel, and this was 100% true, that sold Florida real estate over television. And it
was like QVC for Florida men.
They'd send
Florida men.
They'd send some dude out to an empty lot in the middle of nowhere, Florida, with a VHS camcorder, and he would essentially just go around and just show the lot from every angle. And the guy would be, this is a pristine lot. It's 0.34 acres in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. It is an undeveloped piece of property, a lot of potential here. And you'd literally see the price go up. We already got $4,000. It's keep going up. It was insane to me. I'm like, who is buying this like weird property in the middle of Florida on TV? The same people who would buy something on the internet, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could definitely speculate. But then again, if you like buy a place without ever seeing it, you're taking a bit of a gamble, like having visited some houses that were listed on the internet.
Yeah, they don't always quite look like the pictures.
Sometimes they're misleading.
Yeah, but at scale, you just have to like, play the numbers game.
Right. You have to assume good intention.
Are most of them misleading? Then if not, the non-misleading one just have to cover your losses. You're saving money by not doing due diligence.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I do think this service would be, again, it's just for the purchasing part. I assume you would still go, you don't need a broker to go see the place. But you now have me thinking of this idea, like, let's assume a company owned like 10,000 houses randomly across the U.S. What if they did a deal where like you can save 1% on the purchase price, but we're selling you a random home somewhere?
Ooh, I'm feeling lucky.
Yes, and I'm feeling lucky button for a house. And we'll give you, it's like, I'm sure it'll be like a house they can't sell, or for some reason, like they want to flip it or something. And they're like, we'll give you a really good deal, but you ever go to those hotel websites where they don't tell you the name of the hotel until you buy it? It's like that, but a house. Like, we're not going to tell you where it is. It's a 3-bedroom. It's $250,000. Here are the pictures, but we're not telling you where it is till you buy it. I love that idea.
That's terrifying. Absolutely.
Sean,
terrifying.
let me know if you want to go into business.
House roulette. God, how are we
Pour one
not
out for chat
millionaires?
roulette.
That also would be a good app. House swap. Swap houses for a week. House swap. It's like a vacation.
That must be an app.
Guys, we got to take like more 3-week breaks because we come back and we're so on fire.
So much is happening. We haven't posted in so long that Facebook is showing it to people.
Yeah, that's what it is. Our condolences. Don't Panic is dead. Oh boy. Awesome. All right. We'll save the Apple TV app for next week. I'm curious because you guys both own Apple TVs.
Right.
So I'm curious how the experience is for you. So be sure to come back, not next week because they won't be here, but come back the following week and we'll hear all about it. Yeah, man. We'll get in deep. Sweet. Well, why don't we pivot on over to picks, which is the part of the show where each of us brings something we want to brag about and share with the world. And boy, do we have a heck of a variety in the picks today. And I'm going to make Colby go first.
Make him.
Do it.
Yes.
Holy smokes, look at these.
So I got a while ago. I got this sweatshirt that is like it's like sort of like moisture wicking material, but it's like very comfortable, and it's like not too hot and not too cold, which I like. Like often, like sweatshirts or sweatpants are like they're too warm for me, except on like a pretty cold day. But this material is great. So I bought these sweatpants because they're like the same material and they're so comfortable. So that's all. If you're interested in very comfortable sweatpants, you should check them out. And I'm wearing them right now because they're not too hot.
Dope. These are very comfortable.
I could never podcast in regular sweatpants.
No, you need performance sweatpants.
Yeah, I would have so So much
See,
butt sweat.
I went with fleece. I went with plaid fleece, and I don't know what I
Oh
was
my
thinking.
God,
I'm
that
sweating.
sounds, Sean. That sounds terrible.
What a fool I was. In May? What was I thinking? You call them sweatpants, Colby. I'll call them the Gap Fit Brushed Tech Jersey Joggers, available at
Say
the
that
Gap.
10 times fast.
And we'll have
Gap Fit Brush Tech Jersey Joggers.
What's a Jersey Jogger? And
These
where's the
sweatpants
tech come
Brush
in?
Tech Jersey Jogger.
It says here, sits low on the waist, easy through the hip and thigh, skinny leg opening.
Skinny leg opening.
It's got
I like
G-Dry
the
moisture
50s.
wicking technology.
Yeah, man.
Very cool. We'll
You
have a
gotta
link
get
to
that moisture away from you.
Yeah, you don't want like moisture keeping technology. And now that we know Colby's wearing pants, I'm wearing pants, we'll hope Dan's wearing pants.
I can neither confirm nor
comment.
deny.
Yeah. I stole it.
I'll just say it is cold. It is cold in my apartment.
I don't doubt that at all. It's cold everywhere, unfortunately. I'll jump in and go next, and we'll have Dan take us home here. We often have very tech-heavy picks here on the show. We're a technology show, after all. So I'm pitching a metal basket for your grill. It is the Grillaholics Grill Basket. I recently used my grill for the first time. I busted it out. My Weber did an awesome job. But I love vegetables on the grill. But if you've ever done vegetables on the grill, you know it's very difficult because they fall through dem grates unless you're doing big chunky vegetables. And shockingly, I found this on the wire cutter. And it is a solid stainless steel grill basket. It's big. It takes about half the grill, which I like. You can get a lot of stuff in it. Great for chopped vegetables, not chopped vegetables, shrimp, any kind of small, even like chopped meat, any kind of small loose stuff. But it's great because it's a grated basket, so the flames actually do hit the vegetables. You know, you actually do get the grill marks on them, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get a lot in here. I cooked for a couple people, and I had a lot of vegetables in here, and they cooked really nice. I was very impressed with the performance, and it's dishwasher safe. So if you're into grilling at all, check out the Grillaholics Grill Basket. I highly recommend it. Very, very nice quality. And I was able to cook some good stuff. I'm looking forward to using it a lot more this summer.
I wish I
That's
had a grill.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll just
we're gonna
come
have to
my
go
house.
crash Sean's house. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Sean, we haven't told you yet about the party that Colby and I planned at your house.
That would be a dream. Come anytime. My brother used to open in my mother's backyard what he called the Jennings Aquatic Center, which was usually just a slip and slide or a small inflatable pool. So we may have to reopen the Jennings Aquatic Center.
The grand reopening.
Yep, the ribbon cutting and everything. He wants me to get one of those like small inflatable hot tubs for my deck.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Sean, you know what? You can also just get a real hot tub for your deck.
I have a big enough deck. I definitely could.
You do.
But I would use it. I did get some patio furniture, so I'm rocking and rolling.
Okay. All right, we'll have to have a patio furniture party.
Hell yeah.
There you
Everyone's
go.
invited. Come on
Everyone.
down. All three of our listeners. Alrighty, Dan, take us home.
Okay. A long time ago, probably it wasn't that. A couple months ago, I listened to a podcast. I don't remember where I heard about it. It's called Public Official A. And it's all about one of those things that I feel like happened just as I was old enough to be hearing about the news, but not so old as to really understand it. Yeah, and that was Rod Blagojevich and his time as governor of the great state of Illinois. And specifically, this podcast covers his mostly his downfall from said great state highest office. So it's really well done. There's lots of great interviews with people who were there. The Survivor has a large part in this drama, which I was not expecting. So yeah, it's also not that long. It's just a couple hours, I think, just a couple episodes.
Yeah, they're short. They're like 30, 40-minute episodes.
Oh, okay, yeah. And there's not that many of them, so.
Only 6 so far.
And that's all there's going to be.
There you go. Oh, you'll breeze through this in no time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Public Official A from the fine folks at NPR. Get it wherever you get podcasts. That's so. I'm getting so burned out on 2-hour-long podcasts. Maybe it's just the shows I listen to, but they just keep getting longer.
Yes. We say creating a 2-hour-long podcast.
Well, Matt and I have been doing that, which is very bad. I think our last episode was like 2:16.
Ooh.
It was bad. It was great, by the way. You should listen to the whole thing, but it was long. I don't know how people do it every
What
week.
was the topic?
James Bond. We had to get through 4 movies in one show. That's what makes it tough, because we average about 30 minutes a movie. So that was our bad. A lot to power through. Speaking of that, now that we're through picks, I can plug that because we are heading into the home stretch this week. We're taping our Daniel Craig episode, and I will say I went into this with one opinion. Now that I've rewatched all 4 movies, I have a different opinion. So you can hear all about how that changed over on ForDebate.tv or wherever you get podcasts. And then we're doing that, and then we're going to do a big wrap-up episode. We're going to rank our bonds. We're going to rank our movies. We're finally... Guys, we're ending the debate right here. We're going to pick the best Bond, and then that is the final word on the matter.
Whoa. Canonical.
Colby, do you have an opinion? Do you want to jump in now and say who your favorite Bond is?
Well, my favorite actor?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know.
It's tough, because to be honest, they're all pretty good. I don't think there's any who are, like, truly bad.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question right
Fair
now.
enough.
They're also pretty different. Like
Yes.
Current James Bond is a very different James Bond than Roger Moore.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, they all brought something unique to the role. I have to rank it for the show, and I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I still don't know who's number 1. So you'll have to tune in and find out. Gentlemen, anything else this evening?
No, it's good to be back.
Oh, it's great to be back, and then you're gone again. Bon voyage.
Yeah.
Back and gone forever.
And then I was just informed that it's Memorial Day the week after.
Yes, it is.
After
Big Memorial Day plans?
Maybe. I don't know. Some people have to get back to me who are listening to this show.
Ooh, now that's a mystery.
Ooh.
I feel like Barack
Is it your
Obama.
mom?
Yes.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know about you guys. My summer is like just jam-packed with stuff. And you know me, I hate doing stuff.
I do know you, Sean. Yeah, mine's the same. Lucky for me, we get to do lots of the same stuff.
That is true, actually, which is a nice treat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to come up fast.
Boy, is
The
it.
other day, I am officiating a wedding in early July that I have not done any work on. And I should probably figure out what I'm going to say.
Yeah, that sounds important.
Yeah. Yeah, how hard can it be, right? I'll just wing it. That would be something I would do where I like get through the whole thing and then I like, you forgot to marry them. Oh, no.
Damn.
They're like,
Do you
no,
have
like,
to practice? Do you have to practice? Do you want to practice on the show?
yeah, you want me to go through the ceremony?
Yeah.
I'll just make sure the bride and groom don't watch, but yeah. Oh, no, they'll know. They'll know. It's not a secret. So, yeah. I like that idea.
If you did, would Colby and I be common law married?
I want to marry you on the
afterwards?
show. I'll be licensed. Oh, no, you guys don't live at... Dan, you have to move to... No, you don't have to live in Massachusetts for me to marry you in the state. So I'm in Massachusetts, and Colby's in Massachusetts. I think it would legally count, says me, who does not know if that's true. But I will be like... I have to fill out a form, and I will be able to marry people for like a 60-day span in the state of Massachusetts.
It's only 60 days?
Yeah, so they have a thing now where it's like I don't have to be ordained or any of that bullshit. It's just for like friends and family who want to marry, their people. And it's you have to pay like a $20 fee and fill out a form, but it is only good for like a certain period of time.
Huh.
It's actually,
I guess then every
super
time
easy.
if you do it a lot, they keep getting your $20.
At that point, yeah, then you just get ordained and call it a day.
Yeah, right.
You know.
That's cool.
Good. So everyone look forward to that later this summer. I'm going to marry Colby and Dan. Live. here on the show. Stunt programming.
Oh,
Big
boy.
ratings. It's our big finale. Episode number 250, right here. We're going to do it.
Ooh, episode 250.
Coming up soon.
Okay.
It'll be here before you know it. So look forward to that. But we have to shut this down before it gets any crazier. If you haven't been to our website, don'tpanic.io, go there. It's really great. These guys built it. Links to all our picks will be there. So are the audio and video of all the episodes. You can also get us wherever you get podcasts, Overcast, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're probably there. You can also get the video version on YouTube. And, of course, you can reach out to us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter or email us don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. We appreciated the multitude of folks who joined us live in the chat. Katie Adams, Michael Kurtz, Emily Berger, you name it. These folks were there, and they're fantastic. We love them. Thank you. Something will be here next week. Who knows? At minimum, more of us will be here the week after. Either way, thanks for being here. On behalf of Colby and Dan, I'm Sean. Pleasure as always. We'll see you next time for more tech news on another Don't Panic.